So yeah, so we're going to be talking about the week of February 9th to February 15th. Okay, so we're doing kind of a Monday to Sunday vibe. Oh my gosh, I really wish you guys could see him. His head is pressed against the back of my chest and he's just staring up at me like I'm the whole world. Yeah, I like this new time because it gives me time to not have to rush through writing my newsletter. I've been staying up super late, like writing it, and it just is not good for my nervous system. Sundays for me are personally my Mondays. So, I am his whole world. He's my little baby. Yeah, anyways, I keep getting derailed. You guys are going to see me kind of jump around, but we're going to be, like I said, talking about the astrological forecast for the week of Monday, February 9th to Sunday, February 15th. Okay, we've got a lot happening this week. And if you guys haven't seen my YouTube video over on my astrology YouTube, I dove deep into this because we're about to kind of move through some big things here. So let's just give you a little rundown, and thank you guys for liking the live and sharing. It gets the content out to other people who might enjoy it. When I'm talking about these transits, I'm going to be talking about the celestial bodies versus lunar transits, though lunar transits are nice to talk about. I don't dive too deep into them just because it is deeply personal when it comes to the moon. So these are greater themes. And then just preface for those of you who are new here, when I'm talking about these transits, I'm talking about exactly when they're happening, the peak of them. You'll feel the buildup of these transits coming like a day or two prior and then ebbing. But if it's outer planets such as Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto making aspects, those tend to be longer buildups and longer ebbs, so you're aware. So on Tuesday the 10th, we have Venus entering Pisces. Okay, get ready to dream on. Wednesday the 11th, we have the Sun sextile Chiron. Friday the 13th, ironic, Saturn enters Aries and is going to be in Aries. So we had a taste of this over summer. We had a taste of Saturn in Aries, and now Saturn is officially in Aries. I have a full breakdown of Saturn in Aries on my YouTube of like how it's affecting you and your rising sign. And I did just teach a Saturn masterclass. So if you're interested in learning about Saturn, let me know. I might make that recording available. We'll see. We'll see. Finally, my return. Yes. And then on Sunday, the 15th, later in the evening, the sun will square Uranus. So for those of you who have been joining me the last couple weeks, we've been talking a lot about these transits, and they're all happening kind of back to back. So I'm going to be sharing my screen so you guys can see what's going on. Wow, with Valentine's Day, I'm screwed. Oh no. Okay, let's go ahead and share my screen. Okay, we're jumping here, jumping here. You guys should be able to see the chart. The teacher in me says, it's time. We are going to be learning. And again, for those of you who are hanging out with me on TikTok, liking and sharing my live is the best way to kind of get this content out to other people who might enjoy it. I need more lip gloss, guys. Hold up. We got to gloss the fuck up. Yeah. This is my tried and true. This is by Honest Beauty, and it's in shade, as if you guys care, Plum Drop. It's kind of like the... it's a dupe for something, and I was like, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna spend like $40 on a freaking tinted gloss thing. Okay, so taking a peek here at the chart for, I feel like I've got a couple new eyes here. Coral blue number 5. I've got a couple new eyes here, definitely, and I want to point out that we've got a lot. Whoa! Thank you. Thank you for the gift, Tiff. I forgot. I need to turn my sound down. It is so loud. Okay. Love the dark color shirt with the lights. Oh, thank you. I think. Yeah. Okay. So taking a peek here, we've got, this has kind of been the bigger conversation that's been happening as of late, because we have all the personal planets, which means Mars, Venus, and Mercury, all basically moving through the last signs together. So Mars is hanging out here, Venus is here, and Mercury is here. And now all of this is going to be moving into Pisces in the next couple weeks. And it's kind of gearing us up for some intense stuff. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you guys. Let me make this a little bit smaller, but we're going to go ahead and look at Tuesday, the 10th, because that is when Venus is going to be entering Pisces. So this right here is a symbol of Venus. It's the female symbol. I always like you guys to like learn as we go, because as you guys hang out longer and longer, yay, Wildflower, let's go. Hi, Jess. I want you guys to be able to learn these things so you can start to interpret stuff for yourself. Okay, so watching Venus here, we're going to skip ahead one day, and then to the 10th, we'll see Venus move into Pisces. Okay, so this is a big tone shift. Venus in Aquarius was a whole different texture. Now Venus moving into Pisces, I am your perfect spokesperson to talk about Venus moving into Pisces because my Venus is in Pisces. So if you thought you knew what rose-colored glasses were, buckle up, because you're gonna like have some thick rose-colored glasses with this transit. The thing about Venus, it is our planet of love. It is our planet of romantic expression. It's how we give and receive love. And so on a collective level, with it moving into Pisces, it's really softening the edges. Whereas Venus in Aquarius was very demisexual, to put it that way, like the curiosity of the mind. How can we, come together? How can we like meet, let the minds meet and like have interesting, rich conversations? And now Venus moving into Pisces is very much like Venus is exalted in Pisces, which means it's like she's on this magical throne that is like, love is everything. This is sort of the universal love energy. That is what Venus in Pisces is. It is, I can love everything and everybody. I only see love. And so there's going to be this sort of softening of this quality. And now this is an interesting conversation because all these planets are moving through Pisces. And I feel like we're getting a closer look at what the last 14 years looked like. And I bring 14 years into this conversation because Neptune has been in Pisces the last 14 years. And it feels like with all these personal planets, the Sun, Venus, Mercury, Mars, going to be moving through Pisces. It's giving us a deeper look at like where we're actually at with this energy now. Yes, some softness for sure. It's definitely going to be blurring the edges. High romance energy, high fantasy energy. There's been a lot coming through collectively with my channeled messages of like actually allowing yourself to daydream, allowing yourself to really think about the love that you desire. And with Venus and Pisces here, thanks for the follow. With Venus and Pisces here, it really heightens that energy as well, where it's like daydream upon daydream. How does this affect Pisces placements? So if you have your sun in Pisces, it's going to transit through it in the next couple weeks. So it's just going to heighten and connect to your egoic expression of love and soften those edges. Thank you. So if you have Pisces placements, just know the next couple weeks is going to be a lot of focus on you just in general with the North Node there. Great question. So what else wants to be said about this Venus and Pisces? It's funny. I'm hearing like the song White Horse by Taylor Swift has been coming up where it's kind of, it's interesting because of some of these other transits that are happening too, where, man, I feel like Bridgerton has done us all in a little bit with coming out at this time with all these Piscean transits where it's just like romantasy and diving into all the fantasy tropes and like really desiring the highest expression of love, which is Pisces, which is like, I don't know where I end and you begin. Yeah, it's been interesting because there's also, I feel like this reckoning that's happening as well with these planets moving now into Pisces, where it's like we're touching on like, where do I actually stand in this Piscean energy? So my invitation for you guys is, yes, Venus and Pisces. Hi, again, I'm a native Venus and Pisces. This is my reality. I have to reality check myself all the time because fantasy is good. Softening those edges and like seeing universal love is so important. As somebody who has this lived experience of Venus and Pisces, I tend to see everybody's highest potential, but we have to understand with seeing somebody's highest potential, the other side of the coin of Pisces energy is knowing that action is important. Action is important. Where it's like you can believe in somebody's highest potential, but if they don't want to meet it themselves, that's okay too. Hi, Keith. Welcome. So that's a part of this conversation too, where it's like, let your fantasies have space. And if it's not in romantic connections, read romantic books, watch romantic films, like let love be a part of the conversation. Can you embody? And this is one of my favorite things that my mentor, Alexandra Roxo, really helped me with my embodiment work was, we think of a rose, right? And it takes its time to unfurl and to be seen, but we're not going to pluck the rose. We're going to let it have its sort of energy. And can you embark into the world with the energy of the rose? Can you be so fully flourished in your energy and let yourself be seen in the magnitude of love that you have for everything around you, but also have boundaries? That's what the thorns are for on the rose plant. They are there to keep people from taking the energy, from stealing it. And that's the thing that the Pisces energy kind of lacks. But with Saturn at the last degree of Pisces, and with Saturn having moved through Pisces the last 2.5 years, I feel like we've gotten to know our delusions a little bit more. We've gotten to know this energy of like, you know, where we've fallen too hard into the delulu traps, right? That word is so popular here on TikTok. So let love in, let love come from you, let love be your expression, let it dissolve edges. And here's the thing about Venus and Pisces, guys, by the way, you might think you want to control it, but you can't. Love is something that is not something you can control. Like true, genuine love and the expression of love, you can't control it. You can't grasp it. You can't make it love you. You can't make somebody love you. That's a big part of Venus energy. Venus and Pisces energy is like, if I just make myself into somebody this person will love, then we'll have our dreams come true. Hi, again, native Venus and Pisces here. It doesn't work. Be you. Be you and your authentic frequency of love coming through you with this transit. You don't need to subscribe to how other people want you to love them, right? There is a balance there, but if you are sacrificing your identity for somebody else, that's going to be a no. I'm going to say no. Thanks for the follow. I'm saying no. Do not. Okay. So that's happening. Venus is moving into Pisces and it's going to be fun. I love it. I love love. Like genuinely, like my mom, I'm going to talk about this. My mom asked me the other day, she's like, what do you mean by you love love? Because I love love. And it really is this frequency of like, this is the Venus and Pisces experience. And I'm going to talk about it because this is my experience. It's like the opportunity to meet somebody with no societal conditioning, with nothing, no words, just pure energetic connection. That is why I love love, because you can really see the essence and quality of a person. And what comes to mind is like, I've been rewatching the Avatar movies. You know how they have those sort of connection tendrils, and when two people come into union, they connect those tendrils and you're able to see that person at the truest level that they are. That is Venus and Pisces. And so it's very easy without a container, aka Saturn, to get lost in that, because you can see everybody's highest good, highest potential, but you can get lost in it. Just like I did talking about Venus and Pisces so much. So yeah. You have Venus and Leo. Oh, big love, big love. Okay. So again, that's happening on Tuesday, the 10th. Let's go ahead and jump ahead to the next day, where on the 11th, the sun is sextiling Chiron. Boop, boop. Sextile is 60 degrees. And it is a positive energy flow between these two planets. They are in complementary elemental signs. So Chiron is in a fire sign in Aries, and the sun is in Aquarius, a air sign. I know the word Aquarius can seem a little misleading because it has the word aqua in it, but it's actually the water bearer. It is the container of all the water that is Pisces. It holds it. So any questions so far? I see a lot of people are hanging out, listening. I always welcome questions, and at the end we'll dive deeper into more personal questions once we make it through everything, just so you guys know. And liking and sharing the live is the best way you guys can support me here. It gets the content out to other people who might enjoy it, so I see those likes. I appreciate it. Thank you. So the sun in Aquarius right now, this is our egoic expression. This is sort of this light that is shining brightly. You're high and I'm trying to learn. Let's go, River. Hell yeah. I'm stoked. I'm glad I can be a part of that journey for you right now. So this is really that deeper sense of like universal connection. Hi, Kush. Welcome. So with the sun in Aquarius right now, it really is having us focus on humanitarian causes, really focusing on the bigger picture, the collective energy. And this sextile to Chiron, I'm going to kind of bring back previous conversations because both Venus and Mercury made this sextile to Chiron just a couple weeks ago. I wrote about it in my newsletter. So this isn't unfamiliar energy. Now our ego is moving through it. And this energy is that of like finally feeling safe to kind of like be seen in our tenderness. And this tenderness, let me preface, is Chiron in Aries. And Chiron has been in Aries since 2019, I think. And as a society, we have been facing collective wounds around identity of who am I, right? And for my friends that have been here for the last literally months watching these lives, tenderism, literally, I've been talking about this. This Chiron in Aries is so potent, and I see it in myself. I see where it's affecting me. I see where it's been affecting friends and family. Really this, who am I, right? And it's kind of not feeling complete. Hi, Zeph. Thank you for the follow. Is it Carrie or Carl? Carl? I can't tell. I don't have my glasses on, so it's probably not good. So we've all been going through this collective wound. Now this sextile is very supportive. It's kind of can you let yourself be seen in your communities? And let yourself be seen in your, in the process of not being complete, right? This Chiron in Aries has Carl. Okay, awesome. Thank you. I was like, Varl, let's go. So this Aquarian energy has been very supportive to this Chiron in Aries because it's kind of bringing in the idea of community and connection and letting yourself be seen in the process of learning, right? And I've kind of coined this sextile the last couple weeks as you don't see the artist in the studio every day creating. You don't see that, right? We only see the finished products, right? Thanks for the follow, Angel. And Armanio, I believe I'm saying that right. Hi, welcome. So yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it, David. You love this? Yay, I'm so glad. Sorry about all my funny sounds. I'm an Aquarius moon. I just have to have funny stuff happen while I'm live streaming. Otherwise I get way too serious. And we got to keep humor balanced here, which is Aquarian energy as well. So can you let yourself be seen in the process of figuring out who you are? That has been my greatest work in building 8th house Mercury, building my business Astremia, and literally being I'm just working here. I love astrology and I love teaching, and it's a gift of mine. And I have the skills to do it, so I'm going to do it. And sometimes it's messy. Sometimes there's errors. Sometimes I'm not saying things in the perfect way, but that's this sextile. It's can you let yourself be seen by the collective while you're in the process of figuring things out? And it also brings in this connectedness, because when we see other humans being human, it gives us permission to be human, right? Where it's just kind of like this camaraderie of like, oh shit, we're all going through this together. We're all like growing and learning together. Oh, yay, River, stand-up comedy. Yes. Yeah, it is so human. And it's just like, it's raw, it's vulnerable. And that's what the sextile is really supporting, like being vulnerable, being seen, letting yourself talk to people. And it's been so beautiful. I have a community space. It's called the House of Celestial Magic. It's a Discord community. And it's been so rewarding for me to witness like everybody in the space. You know who you are. Hi, guys. I know you guys are watching. Hi. It's really just expansive to be like, oh, I can be seen and not judged in my imperfection. Because none of us are perfect, right? So that's what this sextile is really supporting, which is amazing. Guys, this freaking energy drink is like crack. So good. Okay. Let's go ahead and... you guys are ready for the big topic of today's live? You guys are ready for it? I don't know if you guys are, so we're going to jump ahead to Friday the 13th, ominous day. Ominous. Okay, let's go ahead and change this to hours. So keep your eye on Saturn up here. And for those of you who are new, this is the Saturn symbol. It's this guy. I think it's later in the day, 5 p.m. Okay, so keeping our eye, we're going hour by hour. Boom. Yep. Saturn is in Aries. Okay. So guys, Saturn in Aries, guys. It's like, that's all I say. I end the live. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. I'm not gonna do that to you. I have a full YouTube video breakdown of Saturn entering Aries, but I'm going to kind of give you a breakdown a little bit deeper. I do have a Saturn masterclass, and if you guys are interested, I might make that available to purchase the replay, but I'll see. I'll see about it. We'll think about it, but Saturn in Aries, guys. So let's break this down into layers. So Saturn moving into Aries is very pivotal. Aries is the first sign. So it's this cycle is starting again. Saturn takes about 29 and a half years to make a full cycle through all of the astrological signs. 29 and a half years. Okay. So it's going to be Saturn and Neptune that are at 0 degrees together, and they will be conjunct on February 20th. I have a full YouTube video about that, and I think it's good, and I think it's okay to be a little worried too, because it's unknown. We'll talk about it next week more in depth, so definitely catch my live. But yeah, Tiff, like literally after this live, I'll usher you guys over there because I yap about it, and it's more channeled and intuitive, but weaving in astrology. Bibble? Yeah. Isn't it Bibble? Yeah. Oh, you mean, what's his name? How can you read those signs? I only see actions and consequences. That's one way. There's multiple ways to look at things. It's just like perspective, right? Yeah. So Saturn, to predict the future, I'm not predicting the future here. I'm sharing the energy of what is to come based off of pattern recognition. That's what astrology is, by the way, guys. Astrology is just a clock, and we can look back at the past and create and look at those patterns that have happened in the past and understand the energetic tone of what is to come. I'm not here to say, this is what's happening. I'm here to tell you this is the energy that will be coming up. How you choose to engage with it, that's up to you. Yeah. Yeah. This is like weather forecasting, right? So, you know, your weathermen where they're like, I can see this happening, but the storm might change direction. Wind might happen, right? So this is not me saying this is exactly what's going to happen. It is me allowing myself to understand these patterns and do my best to kind of help you guys through what's coming up. And a lot of people lean on astrology as just like permission, right? I always look at it as opportunity. Opportunity. You don't use magic. Oh, this isn't magic. This is science. Magic is just science you don't understand. By the way, science is magic you can explain. So, well, I'll refrain from, yeah. So just so, this feels like deja vu. It's because I've been in your dreams, Mr. Beast. It's because you've been here before. This isn't coincidence. I'm a magical woman, in case you haven't recognized that. So anyways, let's talk about Saturn and Aries. So for my folks that have Saturn and Aries in their natal chart, Saturn return time is coming up for you guys. Saturn is our planet of discipline, of structure. He is our planet that really brings in, I'm wild. Yeah, I am, baby. Yeah, I am. That's why I'm here. Izzy knows her shit. Damn right I do. Damn right I do. I'm just in lived experience, interpreting. We're just doing that. Anyways, I love Saturn. Don't apologize. I'm not upset. No, you don't have to be normal here. I'm not normal. I'm really weird. Please, genuinely. You don't have to apologize. I promise. You are totally fine, and I'm just sharing my knowledge. I have no ill will or any anger or animosity towards anybody. We're all just doing our best here. So I'm like, Saturn in Aries, Saturn in Aries, guys, Saturn in Aries. If I just say that multiple times, will you guys get it? No, I'll explain it. So Saturn moving into Aries, this is very interesting energy because Saturn is all about creating structure, creating discipline. This is going to be a 2.5-year cycle. Saturn is a slower moving planet. And so Saturn is here to teach lessons about the long game. Aries doesn't like the long game. Aries wants things done in a split second. And if it doesn't work in that split second, God forbid you try again, right? No, you're not missing it. So Saturn in Aries is here to teach us discipline along instinct, trusting yourself. So instinct is different than intuition. Instinct is the animal within us that tells you, don't go out today because something like that gut instinct. This is your gut, your second brain. This is like really understanding like, oh, I should turn around and walk the other way, or I should, and something happens, right? That could be intuition. Intuition tends to be a little bit more higher up in the body, in my personal opinion, but this is really, really leaning into like having discipline around your instincts. So when things come up, not having, that's the best way to describe this Saturn in Aries, guys. And personally, just a little background about me. I used to teach martial arts and train it pretty heavily. And so that is Saturn in Aries. It is the warrior. It is putting the warrior, Aries, into a strict discipline of training, of having a regimen. And it's sort of this energy of like what's coming to mind is like young men training yoga, right? That's what yoga was developed for at the beginning of the yoga practice, was to like really harness the energy of testosterone and like make sure that it's not like wild and untamed and like having it, it's like honing any sort of skill, right? It takes time and it takes discipline. So Saturn in Aries is really it has to do with identity too, the first expression of identity. And a lot of my natal Saturn and Aries folks have really been sort of trailblazers in their family, sort of like not going the same direction as everybody else. And this is really about to help people understand that if you want something so badly, you have to understand the legacy piece of it. That's what Saturn is here to teach in Aries. It's like, this is longer than just 3 minutes. This is longer. You can't 2 times speed life, my friend. I see you guys. You can't 2 times speed life. There is lessons between everything. And it's really like, can I devote myself to my inner fire long enough to let it build, right? Aries, when I think about the energy of Aries, it's really this essence of like a spark. It's like the initial matchstick, right? That pressure that creates the flame. But it's up to you to tend to that. And that's what Saturn here is to teach you, is saying, how do you tend to the flame of Saturn and Aries? Now, Saturn moving through your own natal chart, like what house it's moving through for you, is unique. And I do have a full video on my YouTube explaining how this transit affects you personally based off of your rising sign. Because again, when I'm talking about these things, I'm talking about the greater scheme of things. And then to get more personal, you need to look at your natal chart. And just a little heads up, if anybody's interested, I do have natal chart readings open and available. It's my deepest passion is doing this stuff. So if you feel that call to work deeper with me, the link in my bio is the best way to get access to all my stuff. So yes, I would love that, Angel. It would be super sweet. Like genuinely love. So I'm like getting fired up about the Saturn and Aries. This is going to be a push that we all need. We've had Saturn in Pisces the last 2.5 years, which has been teaching us more spiritual discipline, emotional hygiene of like understanding like, oh, this is where I end and you begin. I can't just give all my energy away. I have to like have a little bit more emotional robustness and have like, a container for emotions. And this is where I can get really nerdy about like energetic concepts is you can't hold water without a container. That's Pisces. You can't contain it without a container. That's what Saturn was doing for us with Pisces energy. It was, here's a container for you to express the vastness of the universe within this container, right? Without it, you get lost. And that's where Saturn in Aries is saying, you figured out that emotional hygiene. Okay, so you understand self. Now it's time to birth into a new identity and start the journey again. Jesus is not coming back. But Christ consciousness is coming through everybody. So is he coming back? Through me, through you, through being kind to one another and living in his likeness? I'd say so. Anyways, Callie, you're like, what did I just get into? We're live. We're live on both platforms. Callie. So random over there. Yeah, dude. TikTok's got a very interesting audience. I love you guys. You're like, dang. Anyways, I have a lot of thoughts, guys. We got a lot of thoughts in this crazy head of mine. But yeah, I have a full breakdown about Saturn and Aries on my YouTube if you guys are interested in like really, really diving into this. But it's going to be the start. I heard the High School Musical. This could be the start of something new. Feels so right to be here with you. Anyway, so this is going to be the start of building a new version of identity while things are still not yet fully formed. Because Chiron's still in Aries. So anyways, let's jump over to, let's change this back to, sorry guys, I'm just a girl. Just a small town girl. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me, especially right before the Super Bowl. My mom texted me this morning, random sidebar before we talk about Sunday. She's like, can we get cable here? And I was like, Mom, I don't know. We live in the woods. I don't know. But I was like, for what? She's like, the Super Bowl. And I was like, oh, well, whatever. So I sent her all the streaming platforms. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to Sunday, the 15th. It literally was the most mom question. And I was like, girl, you have Google. I love her. But, you know, I am very smart and I could have been like, yes, here is your answer to your question. So, Okay, we have the sun at 27 degrees and then Uranus at 27 degrees. That is making a lovely square. For my new friends here over on TikTok, squares are not fun. I was just joking. Squares are uncomfortable energy. Squares are 90-degree angles of tension. The sun, again, in Aquarius. This is interesting because, again, Venus and Mercury. Damn, Venus is flying. Jesus. Venus and Mercury already moved through these points and made this square to Uranus. So now the egoic expression is making this square to Uranus, and Uranus just went direct in Taurus. And so we've been really moving forward with our worth, with our value, with like understanding, like, and for a lot of folks, it's like understanding that resources and energetic compensation, which in our society right now, it's money, right? Money is our currency of energy, might come in different ways, right? It might look like somebody buying a coffee for you. It might look like different things, different balance. So with the sun squaring Uranus, it's so tense, honestly. This Aquarian energy that we've been in has been very focused on the collective energy, which makes sense with what our world has been kind of revealed as of late. But the Aquarian energy has already known all of these secrets that have been revealed as of late, which we're not going to go too far in depth in that. But at a personal level, it's sort of this revelation of personal view. And then Uranus and Taurus is like your values. Like, can you still value yourself? And the collective energy is kind of like, you need to give all your energy to everybody else. It's a very weird square, to be honest. And when I was talking about Venus squaring Uranus, it was kind of like this energy, which is actually happening today, which is like really reevaluating like who you invest your time and energy into, because the self-expression and vital force of the sun, it can feel frustrating yet kind of inspiring with this square. And like, it's bridging the freedom and the chance for new beginnings with this Uranus square. So it's really like, though there is tension, squares are one of my favorite transits, even though they're uncomfortable, because that pressure, and to kind of give you guys some concrete ideas of what squares are like, if you think of our tectonic plates, when they brush up against each other, something happens, a tsunami, earthquakes, volcanic eruption. That's squares, where it's like 2 points pressing against each other, things come to the surface. And so it's good because it means like you're getting something out that doesn't need to be there anymore. And so this square is really talking about your value, your worth that has changed. Your view on how you value yourself has changed. And the sun in Aquarius is saying like, how does that match the collective energy? How does that meet everybody's needs? So there is this edge, but it's bringing up like new ways to approach, maybe bridging the gap of your values with your community, or really recognizing like the value of the people you surround yourself with. That is very important. Like, are they supporting who you are at the core, right? And that can be really tough for some people to sit with, because Aquarius energy, it's like, would rather like just hide and be on their own, but it's really like coming out of your shell and like connecting with like-minded weirdos, right? And so even in that, it's like, but do I want to be around these people? I don't, you don't have the Super Bowl. Yeah, it's an American thing. Football. It's where guys touch other guys. No, wait, that's jujitsu. Anyways, this is tense. It is, am I reading birth charts? No, I'm reading the astrological forecast for the week ahead. But if people are desiring birth chart readings, those are linked in my bio. I will never do live birth chart readings because I'm looking at your soul and I go deep, and that shouldn't be witnessed by a whole audience of people. So anyways, what else? It's pouring rain right now. It's really beautiful. Oh, whoa. I just remembered a dream I had last night. Interesting. Been there, seen it in Redding, California. Cool. Is it red in Redding? Okay. So anything else that wants to come through for this energy? Thanks for the follow, Rad. Just what comes to mind with this square as I'm sitting with it is the 5 people you're closest to. Oh, I'm not in San Francisco, by the way. If you're seeing this location down here, I just use San Francisco as the point of time for this. I'm smart enough to not reveal my location online. So the 5 people that are closest to you, right? They are all reflections of who you are. So it's kind of really sitting with, do they uphold your new value system that has been emerging? Have you revealed that to them yet? If you did reveal that new value system, your worth to them, would they honor it or would they run, right? And that is a gift. That is a gift for sure. So it's like, if people were to leave, that's okay. You know, more room for new people that want to honor your worth, honor your frequency, right? That's really what's been coming through with these squares to Uranus. It's like, can I be around people that really value me and now value this sort of new structure that I've been building within myself? So that's our week, guys. Phew. Lots of fun transits, right? Am I right? So just a recap of what is coming up for the week ahead. On Tuesday, the 10th, Venus enters Pisces. On Wednesday, the 11th, the Sun sextiles Chiron. On Friday, the 13th, Saturn enters Aries. And then on Sunday, the 15th, the Sun is squaring Uranus. And again, if you weren't able to stay for the whole live, this will be re-uploaded to YouTube in just a couple hours. So if you're not subscribed there yet, and then you can also watch some of my newer videos there.